Hey guys, this week's mitzvah that we focused on is tzedakah, usually translated as charity, but really comes from the word tzedek, justice. To give tzedakah is not the kind thing to do, it's the right thing to do. God has entrusted us with materials to think of others, to promote kindness and goodness in the world. It is such an important thing to have a charity box in your home, in your office, in your car, and to give a coin every single day. It might seem like nothing, but what it does is it promotes a habit of giving. It affects your personality. When my child sees a coin on the street, they say, "Look, I found tzedakah." And this ties in beautifully with this week's Torah portion. This idea that we need external validation is something where, when we do the right thing, we want to be acknowledged, is human nature. It's a human condition. If you go to the supermarket and the cashier forgets to scan something and you only realize by the car, and you start thinking, who's gonna know if I go back in? And then you go back in and the cashier scans it and you're waiting for some sort of praise for being honest, and they just there's nothing. And you're thinking, oh, why did I even bother? Or you do a favor for somebody and they don't acknowledge it the way that you would have hoped, and you're like, why did I even bother doing that favor? The problem here is that we were not doing it for the other person, we were doing it for ourselves. We were being more selfish than selfless. And when we always expect external validation and praise for when we do the right thing, is we become very inconsistent with what we do. Who's gonna know if you do the right thing? You will know. In this week's Torah portion, Va'etchanan, the Jews are about to enter the land of Israel, and Moshe says the most famous line in Judaism, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. To be one with God, inside and out, whether we get what we want or we don't get what we want. Moses himself wasn't allowed to enter the land of Israel. He wasn't going to get what he wanted. Hashem Echad, to be one with God, is in all situations. Moshe knew the Jewish people were about to leave the desert, a place where God miraculously took care of all their needs. They were going to enter a land where they would have to work and toil and grind and stress. They would find themselves in many situations where they can ask themselves, who's going to know if I do this thing or not? And the answer Moshe was telling them is you are going to know. To be one with God inside and out, you will know and God will know. Shabbat Shalom.